Now?
Yeah.
Okay, Javi says now, so I can get on here. How you doing? I haven't seen you for a while, right? How long has it been? At least a month, probably longer. We've been working really hard on this website, and the more we work on it, the more we see we got to do. So I will be back on here making videos again, but I might miss a week here and there. Forgive me. And I won't teach any classes until I get this mess cleaned up with the website. But anyway, thanks for coming today. What we're going to do is it's fall and it's time for jackets and coats to start coming out. So it's brooch time. You know, it's time to wear brooches. And, you know, brooches kind of fell out of fashion for a while, but when I started making jewelry, that's practically all I made was brooches all the time. And they sold like hotcakes. But then, you know, they fell off. People wanted simpler things, or they wanted bracelets or earrings or whatever. You know, earrings were always good. But I like these off so they don't glare into the camera. Anyway, so brooches are back now. Many of them wear them now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some brooches that I've liked in the past, which of course I forgot to bring out here, but don't worry, maybe we'll do that next week. But I'm working on a brooch for a friend of mine who asked me some time ago to please make her a brooch with her name on it. And of course I could do that because I engraved, but I found out this morning when I was putting it together, I've engraved for a while, so I better get good at it again. But I'll show you what I did, and I'll give you some ideas, and you can have some fun with it maybe this weekend, okay? So Javi's gonna train the camera down so that you can see what I got and what we're doing, and we'll go from there. Is it okay just put it here? Or should I, maybe,
Yep, you're good right there.
maybe I should put it like on this. Look at that, look at that.
Hold on. I gotta put this slow dude over here. There we go. Sorry, Lily. Okay.
Okay. So this is pretty much done. I just have to put a pin back on it. But it's for my friend Emma. That's what that says in there. I have another one. I'm going to make her another one too, see if it can come out a little better. This one says Emma as well. But I used some silverware, silver plate findings I have. This is exactly what I used. And I think I showed you guys how to make this pin before a long time ago. This is the style of pin that I sold the most of when we were selling to stores. I mean, we sold thousands and thousands of these. And we could engrave them with people's names on them, or teacher, or sister, or grandma, or, you know, whatever. You know, so it was easy to do it. But the engraver that I have now doesn't cut quite as well as it should, so that letters could show up. So I go find my old one. My old one still works, thankfully, and it did. But anyway, so I got Emma on here. What I do is I just engrave it onto the metal, and then I wipe it back and forth with black paint until it comes up. And then I haven't done it yet, but you should take something and seal it. Could be like, you could put regular different lacquers on it. You could use even clear nail polish. I've always said, I don't do that in the past, but I don't feel that way anymore. You know, things change. I would just say, if you're going to do that, get yourself some really good quality stuff that, like, if it was on your nails, it would not be prone to chip. Like, I don't know, an OPI or some of those kind. So, anyway, but you can do it, and it might have more control for you because the brush is small. You know, you can get in small places with it. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm real croaky today. I do not know why. It just happens to me once in a while. But anyway, this is how I did it. And I used these two pieces. And then, of course, my signature when I made them was always buttons. I'm a button lover. So I always got these little baby buttons. And these are shell buttons. They're not plastic. I don't use plastic. They got to be the old clamshell buttons. So once in a while I find somebody with a mother load of them, and then I'm okay for a while. But anyway, so I did that, and then I took and I used this leaf, which we do have in stock, and it's in silverware. I used this leaf, and then I have a lot of different flowers I could use, but I use, I think, this one, and some of these are resin, and some of them are not ceramic. This is ceramic, that's resin, that's ceramic. Doesn't matter. You blend it together. So I use some of those, and then I use some of these leaves, which I like to bend them and break them off. That's the best thing about this 5-leaf finding, is because you can use it like it is, or you can bend it, like if you want it to have some dimension in your design, and Brooches is a good place to do it, by the way. You could bend it and kind of have it arc up into your design. I've done this many, many times. It looks good when you do that. Or you can just clip these off by themselves and use them. So I really like this because you can get a lot of, you can get a lot out of it, like a lot of traction out of it. There you go. So anyway, so I think and then I used in this one some pearl cabs. Right here, these kind. And I used some of our pearl rosemontees. And I know many of you are aware that we have them, but I will tell you they're hard to find. And when I found a source, I was all over it. Okay, so we usually have some in stock, and we do right now. So then I used good old E6000. I haven't found anything better. So from there, I went and put it together. Is this facing out at them, or is it? Okay. I can't make this upside down, guys, so you're going to have to watch it upside down from your viewpoint. But anyway, I wanted to show you something. I'm proud of this. Okay. Can you zoom on it a little bit? Okay.
Of course.
There's virtually no cleanup on this. Very, very little. That's what I always strove for when I was making this line. As little cleanup as possible, save time, So I guess I still got it. Once in a while I still make a mess, but this one I have a little bit I should take off of here, but I mean it's looking good. I just need a silver pin back to put here. And if you wanted, this piece comes with a hanging, hook, hanging hole, whatever you want to call it. And if you left that at the top, you can make a necklace out of it. Just saying. So, anyways, that's how Emma's first brooch came out. Let's make her the second one.
That would be cute in a pendant form too.
It would be, see?
Yeah.
I think more people would wear it as a pendant
especially
now.
like just this by itself.
Yeah.
And with a little
I
chain.
used to sell,
that'd
you
be
guys,
so
I used to
cute.
sell a ton of just this.
Really?
I had a whole basket of them, and they were up. I sold them at shows, and I sold them in stores too, but I sold a lot of them in shows, and I had a whole basket of them up by where I would check people out, and they just grabbed them by the handful. I sold them for $3.
Oh my god.
Now I couldn't sell a silver one for that now, but I
No.
could do a raw brass one.
Oh, okay,
Probably.
yeah.
But anyway, and then they would say different things on them. So then if somebody wanted something special, then I'd have to mail it to them, and I'd tell them give me 2 weeks, and then they'd have them pay for the shipping, and then they had whatever they wanted. They used to come into the shop when I had the shop and have me do a lot of ones that were custom as well. I like doing that. But anyway, let me put this together so that you can see how easy it is. I also use some rosemontees that are crystal. So you can see that.
Okay.
I looked all through myself to see, where my brooches were, because I haven't been wearing brooches like I used to. Either well, summertime here, you don't have anything to put it on. But I discovered that I only have 2 or 3. I have one brooch from my Haskell class that I did about 3 years ago. I didn't want to sell it, so I still have it. And I have a couple others that are, I wish I'd brought them out here because they're really crazy. But I'll show you next week because I think we're going to do brooches next week as well. There's a lot to be said. And in the meantime, if you belong to the creative group at Facebook, post your pictures there of brooches that you've made with Bisou bits. Because we want to see them. They might get, used in my other social media too. And if I use them, I'll call your name out. I will. So, post them. Be sure you post them. And also, right now, we're having a brooch challenge. If you go to the creative group at the top, the brooch challenge is pinned with all the details of it, which is not hard to do. And then there's a hashtag. You have to put the hashtag on it so we can find them and count them up. Okay, so you use a hashtag, and then you can enter a contest. It's gonna go, I think, through October 7th, but I don't know, I might extend it another week, I'll let you know. But for sure it's gonna end then. And when it does, so long as I got 10 people who sent pictures with the hashtag, and I'm pretty sure I've got that already, I'm gonna do a gift muse that I make up. And I've got a lot of cool stuff now because I have a lot of shipments starting to come in. They're not going on the website because the website is like under construction. So they're going on Etsy when I get to them, and some are just being saved for when the website is ready. So I have lots of things to share with you in a nice little gifty. So you want to win that one. Oh yeah, you do. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm going to make this pin. I used to pride myself that I could make this pin in 15 minutes. Now, I'm not entirely sure I still can make it in 15 minutes because I'm always thinking about it, when I'm making it. Do I want to change this up? Do I want to what? But if I make it a lot like this one, maybe. Anyway, it goes like this. You have to have this bottom. How in the world I came up with this, because it's an earring bottom. I don't know how it entered my brain one day to get a bunch of those and start making brooches out of it. It just doesn't, I can't remember. But I do like an inverted shape, and maybe that's why. But anyway, it's this. And I don't know if we have any at the site right now, but if you would like me to make you up a little kit and give you some of these, I have them. So I found them downstairs when I was looking for stuff for Emma. I had a whole mess of them in the drawer. Oh, baby, you won't believe what I found down there the other day. Good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to squirt out a little bit of E. And I'm just going to put it right here in the bottom, like this. That's where you can get into trouble and make a mess. Okay, that's good. And now I'm going to take, and I'm going to just set it down over this beaded little circle here. That's my point of reference. And then I'm going to just take it and hold it together. Yeah, I did good. I did real good. So long as this don't move around, I will have no cleanup there. Okay, so I did like that. Now, on this one, I had a few little metal, like silvery buttons, old ones. I don't have any more of those. They don't really show in there anyway, so what does it matter? But anyways, I thought I'd just tell you. Okay, so let me get some of these. I was fortunate. I found these. Sometimes when you collect buttons, you'll find them on strings like this. And this is really good because a lot of times the ladies, when they put the buttons together that were the same size, and then they have them. So that works out really good for doing this. I don't have to go all over because I used to buy buttons by the pound. There were a couple of people down south that would sell them to me for $6 a pound. Can you imagine? Not no more, let me tell you. But anyway, and I had goobers and drawers full, and they were not sorted, so you never knew what you might find in those. I mean, I loved it when those buttons came in. But I no longer have that source. And I no longer make a lot of button jewelry. But you know what? I'd still be tempted. Even if it was twice that much. Or maybe more. I don't know. I did buy them a while ago from some guy on Etsy. And I can't remember what I paid. I think it was like $20 a pound. And that wasn't bad. Because, for a pound, you get a lot of those. So, anyway. They were really dirty, though, and I had to bleach them. So I didn't like that. Oh, well, beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay, so I start out, and I usually take and put a little bit bigger one on the bottom here. So I'm going to look and see if I can find one in my two little things of buttons here that might work good. Now, that's too fat. I like them to be kind of slender. This is a rather large button, but
Yeah.
it might help us to get more balance because this is really a short pin. And this could be a little bit better. So I'm going to leave that one out and see what else we could find. And try to stay with all the white ones. Anything is that being on there, the way that goes up and down, it might not be like seated down quite right. So I just need one a little bit bigger than these, I guess. This would work, it's got string in it. So I got these two there. And I try to not use plastic. This one will work. That'll do. Wish it was a little flatter, but that's okay. I can manage this. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Is anybody else with us, Javi?
Oh yeah, there's
So
a
we
lot
can
on.
call them out. You turn them
Andrea
around so I can
Skinner.
sit. Andrea, Dara, and Sherry Miller. And see who else is beyond that.
There you go.
Annalise is here, and Deborah Phillips so far. Yay! I hoped we got more, but I didn't. I waited till this morning to tell anybody about it. So, anyway, yeah, this doesn't really look that good, Sherry. I washed my hair. I didn't get time to use the curling on one, and it was very straight and fly away. So I pinned it up and put one of these clips on it. I'm the queen of clips. You guys wear those clips? I do a lot. I have Brenda Sue's Museum of Clips. Most of them I never would wear because I don't. They're pretty, but they're just not me. So it's kind of hard to find one that's me. So I stay cheap when I buy them. But I get them, off of Amazon, places like that. There's a couple of the sellers over there that have the right color for me because it's hard to match mine. Because mine's like so many colors. So see what I do? I just kind of go, I get a bigger one down there and I just kind of go up the sides. And when I get up to here, I kind of tilt it a little bit onto there. And then what I'll do is coming in here, I'll put another one. And that takes care of any visible places because I want to put a flower in here and I might use a bigger flower. So if I do that, then I have to make space for it. And that would be it. So now I don't know if I want to use this one or a bigger one than that. I don't know because I've got them over here. I'll show you what I got. Let's see what you say, okay? I've got that. And I've got a big lavender one. It's bigger than that, but I don't know if I want lavender. That one's broke. And then I've got this one. And I've got some little guys that you could put in clusters. And then I've got a lot of resin ones too. Resin ones blend real nice with these if they're nicely made ones. I don't like those ones that have a glossy finish on them. They look so cheap. And I won't buy that kind anymore. But if I can find ones that look like, say, and we do have these on our website. We still have lots of them. We've got globes of them, as a matter of fact. Show you what I mean. Oops. I'll move this out of the way so I can do it in here. You can see what's in my basket, my box. Okay, so like this kind is really good. If you want to put a little chaton in it, like that. And these little itty bitty ones are really good.
I don't think they can see that.
They work so nicely. And then I have some that are a little bit bigger than that. So these have that resin look to them. And these ones, I don't know if I have any more on the site. I had some on Etsy. These are kind of hard to get right now. I don't know why. I guess everybody discovered them. So, and then I have some little white ones. And then I have some that are clusters, like this. See that? It's a cluster. So these little resin roses, they're a nice option. I found that once I discovered them and they were making them in the matte type finish with more finely, like, they're not carved, but I'm going to say carved, details. They look so good that I stopped buying so many ceramic ones because ceramic ones, let's face it, they're expensive. They are. They're made by hand. They should be expensive.
And they chip.
But it was nice that I found these because they look just as good, I think. So, hey, right? So, anyway, I'll put this box over here. And if you wanted to, you could use, like, some of these I'm going to show you. These leaves. you know, you just have to figure out how they'd work in your design, because depending on what you're using, they could make it look cheap, but others not so much. So, you know, you just have to check and see what looks good for your design. And then I have this box too. I got lots of boxes like this. I hope you do too, because I'll tell you what, it makes life a lot easier when you got boxes like this. And these are little tiny green leaves. I don't know if that will look good in this or not, because they're so small they might work. You know what, they might work because they're so small. Big ones I would not do in this brooch, because the brooch is not that big, and you could get it to looking cheap pretty quick, I think. And then here's the Rosemontees. And they're actually little pearls that are set in little mounts, and they have a sew-through place on the bottom. So anyway, I try to always have some Rosemontees. And then here's some, these are Rosemontees too, but they're the Aurora ones. Those work out real good in something like this. I have a bunch of flatbacks in here and just all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I'll be at no loss for, if I want to make a bunch of these pins, I'll be at no loss for flowers. You can see that right now, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this aside and get it out of the way so that we can continue our little exploration into how and what we're going to make this pin. Okay, so I'll bring this back over. I'll put this here. Thankfully, I did not spill any. Okay, so now I've got this center piece here, and I like that, but I don't have it glued in yet. They have this piece too, but I don't know. I think it's too big. That's too big, don't you? Yeah, too big. And this here is pretty, but I don't like it for this. So I think I'm going to go with this. I'm not going to glue in it quite this minute, but I've got these little feathery plumes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one on here like this, being careful that I do not do anything to obscure the name. In this case, if you weren't doing with the name, it wouldn't matter, but in this case I am, so. And I'm just going to bend this a little bit. You know how I like to manipulate things a little bit. So I'm going to put that there. I don't have it glued in yet. And then I'll bend this one a little bit. And I'll put it over there like that. And then I'll take my rose and I'll put little things in among that. Different things to decorate the top, you know, the Montees and the golden leaves and stuff like that. And it'll be done before you know it, so let's get on it. Okay, so I'm going to glue these leaves on here first. Till you get on to using these 6,000 a lot, you know, you can have a lot of trouble with it being really messy and going all over the place. I know the girls that worked for me often had a lot of trouble getting onto it, but once you do, you really won't want anything else. The only thing that's bad about it is quite toxic. So you gotta watch out that you don't hold it up in your face or ingest any of it. Okay, so there. So I got that. That's just a start. Now, on my other pin, I put a little baby button up there. So I'll have to see what I got down here. If there's anything that would fit. This is the same type. I don't know. It might be a little bit too big. Yeah, I think it's too big. I need a real tiny one. Or maybe a flat one. A flat one might work. See what I got in here. You just never know. Anybody saying anything?
Deborah says beautiful.
Thank you. I want you to go make one now. You can. I know you can. You got all kinds of stuff that you've got over me over time. You can do this. Okay, this one's perfect. So I'm going to put this here. Now I've got these little German tweezers. I love these. If you don't have a pair, get a pair. I think we still have some on the website, but if not, I don't care where you buy them, you need them. So get some. It will help you to keep, glue off your hands and stuff if you can use them. So there, I got some on that, and I'm just kind of tapping it down into place. And I've got a little more glue on this that I want. So I'm going to just take it off. And I just noticed something. I got this too. Did I glue this in? I did, but I can take it out. I have this. What if? Let's put it on his face. What if I did that? And then used the littler flowers around it. What do you think, hubby? What if I did that and used that stone?
Yeah,
instead?
maybe. But the color's the stone.
It's like a crystal AB.
Okay.
And then here's a little, here's a little cluster. That would work. That's pretty. I put this goes in the little button up there. And you guys don't have to do this stuff exactly the way I do. It's just my way. It's kind of the way I do things. So this is just a starting point. Now you'll come up with something better, I bet you. I bet you will. Okay. Okay. Let's see. It's sticking up too much. I don't like to see that. All right, that's good. So I have that done. So I could do that. Yeah, she'll put it in. She's putting it in the right place. Thank you, Bobby. So I'm just playing right now, so I'm not gluing anything in. So I could put a little rose there. I'm going to take these off so I can lay it on my wrist. I don't know why I put these all on. I made these over the last few weeks. They're electroplated agate, which I love. I'm nuts about. And moonstone and some white Millefiori beads that we have at Etsy. Okay, so I'm going to see what I need to do to make. I wonder if maybe I should still use this. Nope, now it's too big with that, so I'll have to save it over here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of move them around in here. I think it'll be a nice look. I could just maybe move it like that too, but I'm a person, I kind of like things at angles. That's me. There's no reason why you have to do it that way. I'm just saying. Works for me. Okay. Now some little tiny no-hole pearls would be really nice too. And I didn't have any of my stuff. And I ran out of time to go out in the little garage warehouse to see if we had some, which I know we do. So I'm not going to be using any of these in this. I'll use the Pearling Rosemontes instead. That'll be a better solution. Remember guys, comment on the video. Now with the live, the one bad thing is you can't do it right when you're right here. You have to wait and go out and come back in and do it after it's over. So that's kind of a pain, I know. But I hope it'll do it anyway, because we need those comments. I don't know if I want to put that there or not. Here's another one of these. Put that there.
No.
And then I'm just going to kind of continue to fill in here with, this and that and the other thing. And it'll come out looking kind of like this, but it'll have its own unique design. So I'm going to start for now because I'm going to need to think about it a little bit. And this will go too long. So That's how it starts. That's how the basic pin is constructed. You need the heart and the little flared back if you want to make it like mine. If not, you can use just a flat backing. Diane and I saw, as a matter of fact, on TV, this Indian lady from India come on, and she made such cool jewelry on top of pet tape. It was amazing. I got to go back and look at that some more. That would be great for us. Any place that we can save you a little money and still show you how to make a quality item, we want to do that, because, you know, things have got expensive, and I know people still can afford to spend. If you go by what, you know, our sales that we had 350% off sales here in the last month and a half, because we needed to have them. We had to raise funds. So, and we did. So we were grateful for them. And we can't have any more of them. It will decimate my stocks. I can't do it anymore. But so I hope you got to take advantage. But they are still working on those orders to get them out. People had plenty of money to do that, let me tell you. So, just saying. But sometimes, you know, people like to see if they can get more for, you know, what they have to spend. And hey, I don't blame them. I do too. Who doesn't like to do that, right? Everybody does. Come on. Okay, so I'll fiddle with this later. But you need to have the little heart. Now, how do I engrave it? If you want to know, if you go back in my videos, there are at least 2 that I know of that will show you how I freehand engrave with a Dremel. A little Dremel tool. Very inexpensive. You can get it most any hardware place for, I don't know, $25-30 maybe. Maybe less if they're having a sale, who knows. But I wanted to do it many, many years ago. I think I've been engraving on brass for at least 30 years, at least 30. You know, and I got really good at it. I'm a little rusty right now because I haven't done it for a while. Maybe I should start doing it again. I could offer to tell people, hey, you know, you could get this brooch made for you, and for like $2 more, I can custom engrave it or something. I don't know. I don't know how you do that with Etsy, because they like to put everything together. But anywho, I don't know. I always am thinking about, like, you know, if I made jewelry again, what would I make? I know those of you who sell jewelry, you're probably always thinking, what can I make that my customers will like? Because you know what they'll like because you've maybe known them for a long time. My customers, a lot of my customers, we go back. You know, I have customers that I've known 25 years or more. No kidding. So, you know, after that amount of time, you kind of get to know them. You like get to know what they like. So, anyway, one last thing I wanted to show you, though, on brooches is not just this thing, you know, with the backing and the leaves and the buttons and little buttons and, you know, you can see what I used. It was not rocket science. But let's say that, let me get this over here, because I don't want glue to get onto my countertop. Let's say that I had some really nice buttons like this. And I wanted to make a free-form button brooch, meaning I'm not going to put a backing on it. I'm not going to put a base. I used to make a lot of button brooches like this. And it's nice and easy. So I take my 2 big ones. And in fact, I think I'm going to leave this one for here because it could feature. This is a really nice carved one. Can you see all the carving on that? How nice that is? So I think I might, you know, take advantage of that. It seemed like I saw another one in here that had some like really spiffy carving on it. Oh yeah, this. That's kind of pretty, huh? So I don't want to cover that over so that no one can see. So I'm going to use this button and this button like this. And then whatever I put here will not only be a focal, but it will hold the whole piece together. So, and it's going to form the line of the brooch, which is going to be like this. That's what I like. If you're going to make an arc or a crescent shape, you have to make it so the outer part of the crescent is toward your shoulder and the open part is toward the middle of your chest, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and glue this and show you how I do it. And if there's a little bit of dirt on your button, you know, just glue over it. That's what I always did. You can remove it too if you like, but you could just glue over it. Okay, so now there's this. I put a little bit more glue on the last one than I wanted to. I should have. I don't know if it's going to make me. Yeah, see, that made me a mess. Look at that. You see that? So I'm going to have to try to get a little bit of that out of there now. I knew I put too much on that one piece. If I had a toothpick, it would be really handy now. So, but this won't be too bad to clean up after it dries. So I'm just going to stop getting it all over the tweezers. But you can see what happens. If you get a little bit too much glue on something, that's what happens. You don't get a nice clean finish. So anyway, now I've got to move it somewhere on this plastic where there isn't any glue because I don't want it showing. Okay, there's a little bit peeking out there too, but I'm going to cover that up. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to put a button right now on. I don't have a button brooch anymore. I had some really, really nice ones and I've sold them all. So I guess this one will have to be mine. What do you think? Yeah. I think I'll put another one here. Going like a crescent. So I'll move it up. If it glues itself to this plastic, don't worry, the plastic will just come off of it. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. So I've got another little engraved one here. And I'm using less, so hopefully I don't have that issue again. Hopefully. Oops. So I put that in there. And so just like with any other assemblage project that I've showed you over the years, I just look for little nooks and crannies to embed things into and have a little unexpected element maybe pop out someplace, that kind of thing. I don't like that. Just saying, I don't like that. Here's an old metal button. That has some character. I like that. I'll put it on there. Now this won't be the most fancy button pin you ever saw, but it gives you something to look at and kind of get some ideas and take it from there for yourself. I see I got a couple of these left. I can make some use of them maybe. Let's see if I put one there and I put one there. That kind of adds some movement. I just don't want to get too much stuff over that beautiful button or else I will have put it there for nothing. You know what I mean? I'll have it all covered up. It's so easy to do that too. Here, can I put it like that? Okay, so I'm going to do that. But I think you can see where I'm going here, right? Not hard. And I used to I still do. I've made many a necklace like this with the crescent base. Same thing. Which reminds me, I got to call up and get them to send me some more of them because recently there's just been kind of a rush on them. I just got some and now they're gone again. Probably with the sale, everybody thought, oh, let me stock up on them. Which is smart, actually. That's very smart. Okay, so I've got that on there. Now I might put, oops, where are you? I might put this here, this little Monty. And then I've got this thing. But then if I put this on here, then I cover. Maybe I should have put it there, huh? I don't know, maybe I'll just use another pin. Then I'll get two pretty pins instead of everything in one, right? So I'll put another one here. But anyway, you can see the way that I'm leveraging these buttons and so forth, it will make it very strong and it will make its own backing and you will not need to put it on anything. So that's always a nice thing too when you don't have to add anything else to it. Spend more money and all that. Okay. so you can kind of see where I'm going with this. I'll put one down here just for a little unexpected. So that's where I am with it. So what I'll do is I just will fill in with maybe a few more leaves and a few more rosemontees and things like that. And then I'm going to go look and see if we have any more of those compasses. You remember those compasses? We've had them like forever. I've had them since I've had supply sites. But I think one of those would look really good in there. And I think there's a... No, I sold it. Shoot. I had a big old clock button. And I thought I kept it, but I didn't. Anyway, I have a little bit of room to put some stuff, but I don't want to cover all this up. So I've got to think about it. I'll take some time to think about it. So I'm going to leave this for now. And you can think about it too. And you can get your buttons out. And here the nice thing is you know, you get your button box and you start playing with things. You just put them on top of each other and move them around. You don't have to glue them right away. No need to do that. You can just try them out and see how they look and go from there. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at my audience here and see how much audience I have. Oh, there's Andrea. Hi. Yes, it's still live. It's all live this time. Lori says, I signed up for a metalsmithing club done long ago. Well, that's good. I don't do metalsmithing, but that's fun. No, honey, you did not miss a live. We are live right now. You're good. Don't worry about it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Feather these. I like those too. I need to get some more. Yes, you do, Deborah. Blinging is fun, isn't it? The button with the circles is cool, yeah. Oh, hi, Brenda. Yeah, you know me from the beginning. Brenda Jewelrette is a dear friend of mine that goes back to the beginning. We used to take Jordy when he was really little, like 2, and go through all the flea markets. You know, doing all that all day. Well, I'm glad to make you a video today, Annalise. It's getting hard for me to do it. I need to kind of go soon semi-retired, because I am 70 now, and making the videos is pretty hard on me. And I really appreciate you guys' support in coming. And I hope you will go over when this is over and leave comments under the video like you normally do. These comments you're making on here is nice conversation between us, but they do not count. And I need those comments to count. Whenever I go and I look and nobody has said anything, I just feel like, why was I here? You know, I just need somebody to do that. So that's why I tell you about it all the time. That's why you'll see more and more content creators telling you that, because they change the algorithm, as they're famous for, and that's what's required now. So we need to get those who follow us to start a little conversation with us in the comments. And when you comment there, I always respond, always. So I'm glad I could do this for you today. Probably will try and do one maybe next week and do another brooch. If not next week, the week after that. It's like I say, we're working very hard on the website right now, and there's just only so much of me to go around, but I do enjoy being with you. So thank you for coming out today. Much appreciated. And I will, oh, she says it's just good to see you. You're a sweetheart, Annalise. You really are. So, oh, don't forget, right now, and I don't have an expiration on this. I might let it go until the site gets moved. If you put in 0130 again, the word again, AGAIN in all caps. So 0130 again, no spaces, and the again part needs to be in all caps. That's your coupon card. You get 30% off anything on the website that you want, and at this time, there is no minimum. So how about that? That's pretty sweet. So if maybe you got some stuff the other week, we want to say thank you very much. We appreciate it. If you forgot to get a few things, this is a good time to come get it, because when I get to the new site, I can't have these crazy sales all the time. You know, I might have I want to have something special and fun every week, but I can't have crazy sales all the time because I have to be able to live. You guys understand. Don't even talk about it. She says, I always try to remember to make you do very good at that, Deborah, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Andrea, for coming today and for being my friend. I really appreciate it. So maybe I gave you some ideas. And thank you too, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea Skinner. So we're going to take off, and you go make something and share it with us at the Creative Group. We'd love to see it, okay? So have a great weekend. Bye.